Hi everybody, it's Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, not Thursday night, and I realize that, which is good nowadays. With all the holidays and working from home, it's good that I know what night it is. So it's the kickoff of Super Bowls week. So since we can't have our normal Super Bowls at Second Helpings, we're going to do a whole week worth of fun stuff via social media. I'm going to do a Facebook Live tomorrow night with some special guests, and we're just going to talk about some fun stuff. So welcome. My name's Kathy Jones, and I'm the executive chef at Second Helpings. Thanks for being here and watching me. So we're going to talk a little bit about Super Bowls this week. So as you can imagine, I'm going to do a soup recipe tonight. Super simple recipe, but this recipe won me the very first Super Bowl competition at Second Helpings. So yeah, I know, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about how Super Bowls came about and how I got involved. And while we're talking about all that kind of stuff, we're going to make a creamy crab with asparagus soup. So that was the 2012 winner. So Super Bowls came to Second Helpings the year that Super Bowl came to Indianapolis, and the idea obviously was to have a play on the name and invite everybody in to enjoy soups from chefs around the city. So I'm not going to say that this was like a taste of the NFL, but on a smaller version in Indianapolis, it was like a taste of the NFL. That's how I thought of it back then. So, all right, who's hanging with me tonight, and what are you having for dinner?
We have Barb Rotkamp Brinkman, Peter Garrett, Denise Brumbaugh, Ellen,
Hi,
Emily.
guys.
Emily.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. Emily, thank you so much for getting that recipe out there. So we're going to talk about, I got my pots heating up just a little bit, and this truly, one of my philosophies on soup is sometimes the simpler the better. This soup is awesome, and it's so simple. These are the ingredients right here. I've got crab meat, I've got asparagus, I've got diced onions, some diced carrots, heavy cream, half and half, a little crab base, and we've got some butter, olive oil, and salt and pepper. And that's going to make this soup. And again, it's just a recipe. So you can put in any kind of spices, any kind of vegetables, anything you want, because a recipe is just a guideline. So let's talk about the first Super Bowl. Well, first of all, let's talk about what we're going to be doing this week. So tonight we're kicking it off, and you'll notice on social media today we've had a lot of fun. What's your favorite soup recipe? What do you like in a soup? What don't you like? Tomorrow night, Chef Jeremy and Chef Eli from the Alexander are going to be live on Cooking with Kathy. So that's going to be tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, and I am so excited to have them on and chat with them. So I think I've been talking about this, but I'm going to tell you guys again. Since Super Bowl started in 2012, there have only been 3 winners. 3 winners. Me, the Alexander, and Circle City Soups. So, we're gonna talk to the Alexander tomorrow night, and then on Thursday we're gonna hear about how Soup Week, Soup Day with the culinary job training students, how they prepare for Soup Day that whole week, and you're gonna hear from Chef Keith and Chef Kyle about how that works, and then we're gonna talk about graduation and things like that. So lots of fun with soup trivia, soup recipes, Facebook, all kinds of fun things. So first of all, the pan should be heating up. So the first thing we're going to do and you guys, the recipe's out there. I'm actually doing half the recipe just because I didn't want to have soup forever this week. So we had chili forever last week. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil. And one thing that I forgot to put on the recipe, I'm going to put a little bit of butter in there with it. So the olive oil and then just a little bit of extra butter. I like the flavor of the butter with the crab. So I'm going to put that in there. So while we're waiting on that to heat up, the next thing we're going to throw in will be the carrots and the onions, and then we'll throw the asparagus in. So yeah, what's everybody eating tonight? What is everybody eating tonight?
We have Lori Carroll, Tim Walbridge. Emily said hashtag a recipe is a guideline.
Hashtag a recipe is a guideline. That should be like my hashtag for life. Right?
Yeah. Jerry Kidwell, Nora.
Hey, Nora. So, all right. Hello, everybody. Nobody's talking about dinner. What are you having for dinner?
Oh, Nora's having popcorn.
Nora always has popcorn.
Oh, really?
Nora has popcorn for lunch. Nora has popcorn for dinner. Nora has popcorn for snacks. I know how Nora is with popcorn.
Emily's having fettuccine Alfredo.
Oh, yeah. We had that last night, Emily. Only I put some seafood with it. I did a little shrimp and calamari. Okay, so we've got the oil and the butter is heating. First thing I'm going to throw in is the carrots. And I'm going to let them do their thing for a minute. So...
Does Nora go to Just Pop In, or does she?
Talk to Nora. Nora loves Just Pop In.
What's your favorite flavor, Nora?
So...
Emily had popcorn for dinner yesterday.
Gosh, what's up, guys? I need to go on your diet.
Louise is having meatloaf and mac and cheese. Louise Kinney.
Louise! How are you? I was just talking about you the other day. Hope you guys are doing good. Yum, yum. So, first Super Bowl, I was the executive chef at Iozo's at that time, which was my dream job then, and now I truly have my dream job. But, so I was at Iozo's, and I was all excited. I was like, oh, this is so good. What are we going to do? I've got to do seafood. I've got to do some kind of seafood. So I came up with this crazy soup. I had worked on it for probably 2 weeks. We had tried every different way possible. I had done scallops. I had done everything. So we went, and those of you that know us know that there's one event that Holly commits to helping me with. One event, and that is Super Bowls. And
There's only one event that Holly's happy to commit to.
Yes, there's only one event that Holly enjoys doing when I would commit her to things is Super Bowls. And even to this day, even though I can't compete, Holly always comes in and helps me serve my soup at second helpings. So I was all excited, and I thought, oh man, there's a lot of good soups here, and I won. And I was super excited, and I think it was probably a really close vote, as it is always every year. But yeah, it was so cool because there were so many people. I can remember there were so many people.
And the bowls, people don't.
And yeah, so they made bowls, and they still do, not as much. But the first year, the artists made bowls. And that was actually my trophy. I don't have it right here with me, but I think there's a picture of it. And I actually changed my Facebook picture to me winning with the bowl. So it was super exciting. I was so happy to win. Yeah, so the next year I competed again in 2013. And Chef Roger Hawkins beat me, and that was okay. It was close. It was a close vote, and Chef Roger and I are very close. Then 2014 was my last year competing because after that I moved to Sitka, Alaska in May of 2014. And I believe, if I remember correctly, Chef Roger Hawkins won again. So I was really, when I came home, I was gunning for him. But then I went to work at my dream job, and I couldn't compete anymore. But the Alexander and Roger have been going strong against each other. Chef Jeremy and Eli have been going strong against each other ever since. So that's my little history and trivia of me with Super Bowls. So you guys talk about, all of you that have been, what was your favorite soup over the years?
Louise says she got vaccinated today. She'll be back at Second Helpings in March.
Who did?
Louise?
Yay! That's awesome, you guys. I'm so glad you guys got vaccinated.
Last year we had a granddaughter. Was it Ellie that went with us?
We might have,
and she
yeah.
tried all kinds of soup.
Yes, we did. All right, I'm going to throw a little salt and pepper in. That's right. Last year we had one granddaughter one grandchild out of the 5, so it was a special day for her, and she was loving all of the soup. She was trying them all. So, yeah. So that's kind of my history on Super Bowls. But what I want to encourage all of you guys to do is get out there and visit some restaurants, some local independent restaurants. Since you can't come in and have soup at Second Helpings, go out and have some soup in their restaurant. There's a ton of these restaurants that have supported us over the years, and they kind of need our support right now. They're struggling, and I'm encouraging anybody and everybody that feels comfortable to go out, get some takeout. You don't even have to go in. Get some takeout from some of these restaurants. Get some soup if you want. I'm not positive, but I think, Emily, is there a link to some of our supporter restaurants during Super Bowls that supported us?
Logan said Circle City, the corn chowder. He still dreams about that one.
Yeah, my dad's corn chowder. That's awesome.
I was confused for a minute.
I
know.
He uses my dad's corn in the corn chowder.
Got me for a minute.
So,
like, your dad wasn't there making corn chowder. Roger's not your dad.
Roger's not my dad. So, Roger is actually, I think, is going to be doing some personal chef stuff too. So when he gets up and going, that would be awesome. He'll come to your house and cook for you, and Logan, maybe he'll come make you that corn chowder. So that was pretty good. All right, so I got the onions and I started to say corn, and the carrots sauteing, so I'm going to throw the asparagus in.
Emily posted the link.
Awesome. Thank you, Emily. So I'm going to run down some of these restaurants that have supported us in the past, and some of them are only doing carry-out, some of them are doing inside dining, some of them are doing delivery. So I don't know all of the logistics of all of those, but I think Emily's got that posted. So a few places to go and check out. The Alexander, of course, Iozzo's, Garden of Italy, the Aristocrat, Comida, Peterson's, St. Elmo's, Sabito, Plated Up Catering, which is catering, but I think they're doing some carry-out stuff, Late Harvest Kitchen, Northside Social, Mass Avenue Pub, and again, some of these are on Market Wagon only, some of them are dine-in and carry-out, some of them are carry-out only, some of them are reservation only, so check that out on our webpage or wherever Emily put the link, and then go and get some carry-out from these. Another thing that I want to push is starting Sunday is Devour. So it goes from Sunday to February 6th. So head out to your favorite restaurants, call them up. You don't need to go inside if you're not comfortable. Call them up, get that carry out and help support some of them. There's some great deals. There's always great deals in Devour. And now I know that they need the help more than ever. So find your favorite restaurant and support them. We try to do that every once a week, if not 2 or 3 times a week. All right. So basically what I'm doing, guys, is I'm just kind of sweating the vegetables. I want the carrots to be a little bit softer. The asparagus, I want to have a little al dente, just a little bit of a bite to it. But we're going to let those cook for a few minutes there. Yeah, so anybody else got any favorite Super Bowl? Or how about favorite soup? What's your favorite soups?
Tanya said her favorite soup is wedding soup.
Oh yeah, Italian wedding soup? Yeah. Iosa's Garden of Italy. They've got a great Italian wedding soup.
Yeah, she lives in Virginia.
Oh, sorry. I never know which time. There's
I know.
Like 5 times.
I know.
So, sorry, Tanya. When you're in Indianapolis,
Yeah,
Iosa's
when you
Garden
come
of Italy
visit us.
has a good Italian wedding soup. What else, guys? What's some favorite soups? Anybody like good old-fashioned bean soup? I know that sounds weird, but I love a really good bean soup. So that's kind of my...
Caroline's chocolate soup.
Oh, yeah. That was a pretty good soup. Dessert soup. That was awesome. That was awesome. Caroline always does some great dessert stuff. So... that was cool. That was a cool soup for her to do, too.
Tanya said she loves bean soup.
Yeah, I like bean soup. What other kinds of soup? I like Italian wedding soup, too. I like,
Your pepper pot soup was really
I like
good.
pepper pot soup. That's a nice soup. So,
Something different.
yeah, something different. So.
Jeanette Smith said I made a really good black bean and ham soup recently.
Oh, yum.
Beans and cornbread.
Yeah.
Emily's favorite is tomato soup and grilled cheese.
Yes. I do a tomato basil garlic that, again, it's real simple.
Simple, yeah.
It's super, super simple. And it's really
Those
good.
are the ingredients.
Those are truly the ingredients. Tomatoes, basil, garlic, cream. I mean...
When we owned the restaurant, I always knew when you were super busy and didn't have time to make soup. I'd be, what's the soup today? Tomato, basil, garlic.
That's right. It's the easiest thing. You're like, yep, tomato, basil, garlic. That's the soup of the day. So...
Janine Bohannon, cheeseburger soup.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And the students always do a cheeseburger soup, and they do a good job with it. That's usually one of the soups that gets in the rotation for the students. So...
What's in that? You don't know?
Cheeseburger. Hamburger, cheese, cream. They do a cheese sauce in it. They all do a different take on it. So, we won't get to find out who the winner of the soup competition was until Friday, though, till graduation. But I know that there was a cheeseburger soup that competed this time in the soup competition, so we'll have to hang on and see if the cheeseburger soup won.
Your bacon cheese potato.
Bacon cheese potato, yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's an easy one too. Again, it's bacon cheese potato.
Cream.
You know? Cream, butter, it wins. It wins. It doesn't matter really what you put with it. Yeah, so it's going to be a fun week, I think, with, I'm super excited to talk to Eli and Jeremy tomorrow night from the Alexander, and they're going to make a soup too. They're going to make a soup. So
Do we know what kind?
I don't know what kind. I think they're keeping it a secret, a surprise for us. So I haven't heard yet. So I did talk to them briefly today, but they didn't mention the soup. So I think they might just be trying to keep it a surprise from us. So. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, we've got all the vegetables in there.
Logan said he loves basic descriptive recipe names. No question what's in some of these soups. That's right.
That's right. There's no question whatsoever. Oh, but we could combine it. It could be bacon, potato, cheese, tomato. That would go. So it's like a cheeseburger. So, all right. So I've got a quart of half and half, a quart of heavy cream. If you don't want it as rich, you can just use like half and half and milk, or however you want to do it. I like the richness, obviously. So we got that in there. And then I'm going to just kind of let this come up to temperature, stir it around a bit. What else is anybody eating for dinner tonight? What's everybody's favorite Devour restaurant? What's your favorite Devour restaurant? And I know it might be different this year, but when we could go out and go into restaurants, what was your favorite Devour restaurant to go to? There's so many. It's like the best time to try new restaurants or new to you restaurants, because sometimes we all get stuck in our rut where we find that one restaurant and we keep going and going and going. And I always think of Devour as a good time to try new ones. And I also thought of it when I was in the restaurant industry, whether it was my own restaurant, Iozo, Salt, whatever. I always thought of it as a chance for me to reach those new customers, to really kind of put the show out for the new customers. So that was the way I always looked at it. All right. You guys, you got to think of some fun questions to ask the guys tomorrow night from the Alexander. We want to have lots of fun things to chat with them about and see how things are going with them. So hopefully you guys will join us tomorrow night. That'll be fun. I'm excited about it. So, any of my Sitka friends on? Look, I'm wearing the Sitka Sound Slayer shirt tonight.
No, I don't think so. I haven't seen anybody
no
so
Sitka
far.
Guys?
There's over 100 restaurants on the Devour list.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That is fantastic this year.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. That makes me feel good. So we definitely need to support those people. You know, especially now in my role with Second Helpings, and how I'm so grateful how kind these restaurants have been to us, and how they have devoted their time and their money and in various different ways, whether it's Super Bowls, Corks and Forks, coming in and helping be a guest instructor, chatting with the students, or being that partner that we can send students out to for a job, or to talk with them, to mentor them. So truly grateful for everything they've done, and I am committed to doing anything I can to help all of them out this year. So, yeah.
Louise thought that you would make a roux.
No, I'm not a roux person, believe it or not. There's certain things I think that you have to have a roux in. Obviously, if you're making gumbo, that's the big one I can think of. And there's a couple others, but otherwise, I'm kind of a purist when it comes to that. I know that there's a lot of people that have gluten intolerances and allergies and such. So if I can make anything without a roux, I try really hard to do that. So, and again, that's part of the reason why I use the heavy cream and the whipping cream, even with the milk. The one thing I don't do that you're going to see here when that comes up to temperature, I don't use a stock. I use a base. So I've got crab base here. And if you can't find crab base, you can use clam base. I got this from Piazza, so that's how I have the crab base. But clam base you should be able to buy. It's a little bit easier. So I don't dilute the soup with a stock, so to speak of. So I'm going to put the flavor in there of the base or the stock, but I'm not going to use a liquid stock. I'm just going to use the concentrated base with the cream or milk or whatever you want to use in there. So that's my secret, because I'm not a big... I'll do everything I have to not to use a roux unless it's something, like I said, like gumbo that you absolutely have to have a roux in there for. That's one thing if it really is part of, but to me, making a soup, you don't always have to use a roux. So that's...
Jeffrey Hartbill said, "Hey chef, how you doing?"
Hey Jeffrey, how are you? It's good to hear from you. Jeffrey is one of our awesome graduates from Second Helpings, and he has been out, he graduated a long time ago, and has been hanging out at Flatwater ever since, so that's awesome, Jeffrey. When all this craziness is over, I'm going to come up and have dinner, so, in the summer, too, so. All right, so I'm going to turn this up just a little bit so we can get it up to temperature. The next thing, once it gets up to temperature, I am going to put in is the crab base. And again, another thing, if you want to, you can also use chicken base. I mean, it's not pescatarian at that point, but, you know, it's going to be a light flavored base that you can put in there and get, you know, it's not going to be crab flavored, but it will bring out that flavor. Or half and half if you wanted to do half chicken, half crab or clam. So
she's still curious about how it gets thick.
The cream. I'm not, so normally if you would make, say, a crab, a clam chowder or whatever, you put water or water-based stock in it. So by using the half and half and the heavy cream, it's thick. I mean, it's not going to be that pasty thick, but it'll be thick. And I'll show you as soon as we'll get it up to a boil a little bit, and I'll add everything in there. So it's not going to be super thick, but it's not going to be thin either. And then a lot of the, you know, you're going to have the crab. There's a pound of crab in there. There's a pound of asparagus in there. So I just use the cream itself, basically. I don't use a thickening agent, so to speak of. I do that on a lot of my cream soups. Now, if I was doing a clam chowder, a true New England clam chowder, it's not supposed to be thick. So I use half and half cream, and then I do put stock in it because it's not quite as thick. I know I just said a lot of stuff, so sorry. I was rambling. Yeah, so, all right. So we're just waiting for this to get up to temperature. I probably should have turned it up a little bit sooner, so. What else? Favorite soups? Or any other soup questions you guys may have? What are we doing next week is chicken wings. Next week we're going to do chicken wings. We're going to end the football food month, so to speak. We took a break this week because it was Super Bowls week. But next week we're going to do chicken wings with 3 different sauces. And I'm leaning towards jerk as one of them. Since I know you guys have said a lot, but jerk, maybe a teriyaki.
Jesse Jet's washing.
Jesse, how are you?
And Tanya said, is this the same as she crab? I think she means maybe the same
as she
crab
soup? No, it's a little bit different.
Oh, I don't know what she's, I thought maybe she was asking about, because she made your crab cakes. After your crab cakes?
Oh, yeah. No, but she's
cakes.
talking about she crab.
Well, she's from by the ocean.
It's she crabs.
Jesse wants to know if you can recreate the Hermanaki wings from Ale Emporium. That's everybody's favorite when you go to Ale Emporium. Hermanaki, that's the girls' favorite too.
I don't know. Let me check.
We'll find out.
Yes. I will try. I can try. That would be fun. Let's try something I've never done before.
That went so well the last time.
I'm okay with that. What do we do? Well,
You're baking your pies.
oh, God, yeah. Those pies. That's different, though. I can't fix desserts if I mess them up, but I can fix something else. Those pies were crazy. It tasted good.
Yeah.
It just was a little scary when I was making it. So,
I'll have to look into that.
yeah. I'll have to get online and see.
Maybe we'll have to order some and go pick some up.
Yeah, we might have to do that so I can try them and go.
There's some in Greenwood. There's one in Greenwood now.
Okay. We're having a conversation without you guys. Sorry. So the dogs are being quiet. I don't even know what's going on here tonight. So
Especially with seafood out on the
I
counter.
know. Our lad is a seafood freak.
Maybe because we've had it a lot lately.
All right. It's getting up to temperature, so now I'm going to put in the base. So whatever base you're going to use, whether it's crab, clam, chicken, and I've got about 2 tablespoons. So it's about a tablespoon per quart. So that's going in there.
Jesse likes that we're going to research.
Yes, absolutely. That'll be something fun. I don't mind doing something new like that.
And Tanya wants to know if you're baking or frying the wings.
Baking. I always bake the wings. I don't. So I have 2 different philosophies. I never just fry the wings. Sometimes I will bake the wings and bake them almost like 90% of the way and then throw them in the fryer to finish them off and toss them in the sauce. But my favorite way is to bake them and continually baste them with the sauce while I'm baking them. So I bake them kind of low and slow and continually baste them with whatever sauce. So that sauce is cooking in the whole time. And then if you still want more sauce, you can toss it with the sauce after they're done. But that's what I like to do. For the longest time, I never had a fryer in any of my restaurants that I own. Never had a fryer. So. All right. So basically all I'm doing right now is just giving that time for that stock, that base to get in there and to dissolve. We'll let that get some flavor in there, and then the next thing I'm going to do is stir the crab in. So this is all claw meat. That's why it looks dark like this. You can put any kind of crab meat you want in there. Again, it's kind of like the crab cakes when I made crab cakes the other day. The lump crab is nice. If it's soup and it's going to get broken up a lot, what I would suggest is use a combination of the crab meat in there. And then maybe put some lump crab, just drop some lumps on top of the soup when you serve it. That way it's got some of that big lump in there, but you've also got a lot of that flavor from the claw meat. But if you're all about lump only, then absolutely throw the lump in there.
She wants to know if that still makes them crisp, baking them.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey said air fried wings are awesome with sweet heat.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good, Jeffrey. But yeah, I'm still learning the air fryer in the house. Some things work good in it, and some things we've kind of flopped with. So, but yeah, I want the air fryer to work for everything. And I think it's just me figuring it out. All right. It's close to being all the way infused in there. And it's starting to smell really good. The aroma's coming out in there. It's really, really good.
Kimmy Sollers says, hello chef, glad to see you doing these live videos. I'm from Second Helpings class of 37.
Awesome.
And first graduating student employee of Just Cause Catering.
Congratulations. Thanks for watching. That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you so much for watching. When the crazy COVID thing is over, come in and say hi. And check out the CJT program. It's changed quite a bit, I'm sure, since you were there, but it's really cool, really fun. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that. And when it's all, like I said, when all the craziness is over, come on in, hang out with us for the day. We'd love that. So, okay, the next step, we're going to throw in the crab meat. And I'm going to stir that in. And again, we don't have to, if you're using a lump in there, you don't want to stir that a whole lot because you want that lump to stay together. And that's part of why I don't put the lump in there, because just the natural of the soup, it's going to fall apart when it starts heating up.
Melissa said she wouldn't say no to your homemade blue cheese dressing or dip with the wings next week if there's time.
Okay, we can do that. We'll make some homemade blue cheese. I always like to do that. So I'll make some blue cheese. If you want any other sides, let me know. Except for celery.
No celery in this house.
There is no celery.
Not allowed.
So, all right. So I'm going to let this just give it a couple stirs. And then I'll bring the pot over for you to look at, Louise, so you can see that it's not super thick, but it's not super thin either. So, if you've got any questions that you want me to ask the guys tomorrow night, and you want to tell me right now, shout them out and I'll write them down. So I will, if there's anything you want to know about the Alexander or their soups, I'm happy to ask. So if you've got some questions and you're afraid you can't get them into the question area fast enough, let me know now. So
Tanya said, give us that story, Chef. What story, Tanya, are you wanting to hear about? About no celery?
So I'm just not
We just don't like celery.
I don't know. And everybody at Second Helpings knows, all the volunteers, it's funny. We'll get celery in and they'll be like, oh God, not celery. And everybody will be like, yeah, don't come over here, Chef. We're chopping the celery. Again, there's probably 3 places I can think that celery belongs. Again, gumbo's like the one thing that all of my things I don't like I have to use. So I have to use a roux for gumbo. You have to have celery in gumbo. And I don't mind it there, but I'm just not, I don't like celery salt. I don't like celery seed. It's just, I don't like it. I don't know how to explain.
That's how we bonded. Neither one of us likes celery.
I'm just not a celery person. There's no purpose to it. I don't, unless you're using it as a vehicle to eat something else.
But you're not really eating it.
No.
Just lick it off.
So peanut butter and celery, yes, you just scrape the peanut butter right off the celery. That's what I do. Cream cheese and celery, it's fine. As long as I don't have to eat the celery. It's stringy. You're like chewing it for 3 days if you eat it raw.
Jesse said, doesn't Chicago Dog have celery salt?
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, we don't have that in the house either.
Yeah,
So
I'm
no
not
Chicago
big.
Dog.
I just don't like, I don't know why. I mean, I don't think I was traumatized with celery as a child, but I don't know why. I mean, my mom liked it, my dad, I don't know. Not a big celery fan. I don't like the taste of it.
And a Bloody Mary? It's just for looks only. And for stirring.
Yeah, and a Bloody Mary.
Yep.
So, all right, I'm coming over with the pot. And I'm actually going to sit it down on the counter. Yeah, I guess it'll be okay. So, if you can see the consistency of it, so it's not super thick, but it's not super thin. And again, like I like to do with all my soups, I'm going to let this cook a little bit. So while it's cooking, it's also going to reduce down, so it's going to get a little bit thicker because we're going to have that reduction in there. So again, it's kind of like with the chili, the soups, whatever. They're always better tomorrow. And that's my trick. I did that also with Super Bowls. I made that soup a couple days ahead so it had time to marry. And I do that with all soups and chilies. I mean, I think that you have to do it that way. So, but yeah, so that's my award-winning soup recipe. I didn't leave anything out. There were no secrets there. Salt and pepper to taste afterwards. We'll do that. The one thing I didn't do, I did leave one thing out on here, but it is in the recipe. I usually deglaze the pan with sherry. I haven't been out of the house for a few days, so we didn't have any sherry in the house. So no deglaze with the sherry. I had some vermouth, but I wasn't sure that would be so good. So no deglaze with the sherry on there. But if I was thinking, I could have done a bourbon deglaze. That goes well in there too. A little bourbon, or you could deglaze it with a peach schnapps, just a little bit, not for the flavor, just a little to deglaze. So, but yeah. Other than that, that's it, guys. Anybody got anything for me?
Tiffany said she missed it. Oh man, I missed this. You can watch it after. You can rewatch it.
It'll be on Facebook Live, and then I don't know at what point, but then it goes on to the YouTube channel. So Emily can answer at what point that happens, but it does go over there, I know.
Jeanette said she often sees sherry in Chinese recipes. What does it add?
It depends on the sherry. So there's a dry sherry and there's a sweeter sherry. I use a dry sherry again, and it's just you use just a little bit of that alcohol to deglaze the pan, meaning it's going to get all the fond off the bottom of the pan. So all of the scrapings will come up off the bottom of the pan. As far as flavor, it's kind of that
umami.
Well, it is a umami flavor, but I don't want to say bitter, but it's dry. It's I don't know how to explain it. It is a umami flavor, so it hits you right there, the back of your tongue. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. I don't do a lot of Chinese cooking. I do more Japanese, so I'm trying to think what recipes that is in and why they would use them. But most of the time it's just kind of like it flavors the pan a little bit with that. And again, they could be using a sweet sherry, which is going to be that really, really super heavy flavor where like a heavy wine would hang in your glass. That's how that sherry would be. I think of it that way, as it would coat your mouth. I think that's my answer to that.
She said it will be on YouTube tomorrow morning.
So on YouTube tomorrow morning, on Facebook for a couple of days, I think. I don't know how long they leave it on there, but probably a couple of days. And then you can check it out on YouTube tomorrow morning. So, hey, the soup's going to cook for a while. Hopefully I answered all your questions. Louise, I hope I got all the questions about the thickening of the soup. Yeah, it's going to be a fun night tomorrow night, so hopefully you can join in. And thanks everybody for jumping on tonight. I know it was a weird night. Normally it's Thursday night, but I'll see you again tomorrow night. And actually, I'm not going to be cooking. I'm just going to be talking to the guys and kind of interviewing them. So it'll be a chill night for me.
Moderator.
You're
going to be the moderator?
I'm going to be the moderator. And then next week we go back to Thursday night with chicken wings. But it's going to be a fun week. So don't forget Thursday we're gonna talk with the CJT class too. Talk to the chefs.
Is there a difference in using a cooking wine compared to a regular wine when cooking?
I think so. I mean, I think that I would never
drink a
cooking wine. It's going to be really, really, really salty. Most cooking wines are just crazy salty. So I think the only thing as far as a cooking wine that I use is when I'm cooking, when I'm making sushi or something. Instead of rice vinegar, I use
Mirin?
Mirin, just flew out of my head. Yeah, so that's like the closest to cooking wine that I will use. Otherwise, I use, you know, a wine. I mean, it doesn't have to be a super expensive wine, but definitely a wine that you wouldn't take a drink of and go, ugh, which is what you would do if you tasted cooking sherry. I mean, it's just super, super salty. But, yeah.
Should you only cook wine that you would drink?
I don't know. I mean, I think the majority of the time, yes. I would say you should only cook with wine you would drink. If you're doing something real, you know, I'm not going to sit there and drink mirin, but that's what I put in my sushi rice. But I would say most of the time, yeah, you want to use something that you would drink or you wouldn't be afraid to drink. I mean, maybe it's not your favorite wine, but you know if you use this cab, at least you can take a drink of it. And it's not something you're going to go, ooh, what is that? And it's always, now I know a lot of people will say, whoever opens a bottle of wine and has any left over, you just drink it all. But if you do have leftover wine, it's always a good thing to hang on to for, I mean, you can't hang on to it forever, but a week or two, and then you can use it to cook with. So, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you to all the donors, the volunteers, the food donors, everybody that watches me, everybody that shares this. We truly can't do what we do at Second Helpings without you guys. I truly, truly mean that. You guys are awesome. You make my dream job even dreamier, even better. I truly love all of you guys, and thank you all from the bottom of my heart for everything. Thank you especially to all of the restaurants that participated in the past Super Bowls. You know, we're looking forward to next year. I keep saying that. We're looking forward to next year, but we're looking forward to next year when we can have everybody back for Super Bowls, and it'll be a fun event. But we're going to make it as fun as we can this year. So check it out. And please, if you can, hang out with those guys. Go order some soup, go order some food, go order some devour from all these restaurants that you like and that you'll support. Keep them going. You know, the light's there. The light's at the end of the tunnel. Everybody stay safe. I miss seeing all of you guys. I can't wait till we can all see each other all together again. And I love you guys. Have a good one.